Okay, to make your crumble topping, you need 100 grams of flour and 50 grams of butter to start off with. And this is made by the rubbing in method. So just break your butter or margarine into smallish lumps. Just break it up a little bit and then just toss that over in the flour so that each piece of butter is coated in flour. And then to rub in, you need to use your hand like a little scoop, and you rub your thumbs over your fingertips. So pick up a little bit of fat, butter with some flour, and rub your thumbs over your fingertips only. And the reason that you use just your thumbs over your fingertips, if you feel your hands, if you use the back of your hand, which is more sensitive, and put it on the palm of your hand and then on your fingertips, you should be able to feel that the palm of your hands is hotter than your fingertips. I'm just going to use both hands for a minute. So we just want to use your fingertips, which is the coolest part of your hand, to rub the fat into the flour so that it doesn't get too hot and sticky, because what you don't want to happen is for this to stick together into one lump. Now I can see that I've rubbed this fat in and I'm doing it in exactly the same place. So what you can do is use your fingers like scoops and make sure you scoop right to the bottom of the bowl, but also turn your bowl round. So after you've rubbed a couple of times and let the mixture fall back, turn your bowl around every so often to make sure that you're not just working in the same place and you're not just rubbing the fat into the flour in the same place and there are going to be pockets of white flour with no butter added into them. If you're not sure if you've rubbed your fat into your flour enough, the easiest way to tell is to shake your bowl. And if you shake the bowl, what happens is all the small bits of flour will fall to the bottom and any large lumps will rise up to the top. So you can see, and I can see this is starting now. If I keep going, this is going to stick together. So this is what we would describe as looking like breadcrumbs. And I don't really want to rub it anymore because that is done. So I'm just going to wash my hands. In here is 25 grams of caster sugar. To finish this crumble off, as I've rubbed the fat into the flour, I need to add now, what I've got in here is 25 grams of sugar and 50 grams of porridge oats. So I'm just going to stir that in as well. And the porridge oats just give a different texture to the crumble. So just 25 grams of sugar and 50 grams of porridge oats, and that's the crumble topping made. Okay, to make the healthy apple crumble, you use eating apples. So I've already washed my eating apples, as I'm going to leave the skin on, and I'm just going to cut them into quarters. So just quarter your eating apples, and then you need to remove the core. So I'm going to put them down and just cut diagonally to remove the core. And if you miss a little bit of pip, it's easy enough to take it out. So just diagonally and then cut down onto the board to take out the core. And I'm just going to core all of those first. When you've cored all of your eating apples, you now need to slice these thinly. So bridge hold and slice down thinly between your fingers. These, in this recipe, the eating apples go into your dish raw. So the thinner you can slice them, the quicker they will cook. And all of your apples need to be thinly sliced, ready to go into your dish. Okay, I've sliced all the eating apples, so they just need to be arranged in the bottom of your dish, whatever you are planning to cook your crumble in, so an oven-proof dish. And if you've sliced them thinly, you should get a good layer of apple across the bottom of your dish. Okay, I've just arranged the apples all over the bottom of the dish, and then I have 50 grams of sultanas to put in here as well. Sultanas, being a dried fruit, are good for you, and they actually increase the fibre level of this dish in the same way as leaving the skins on the apples does, and adding the oats into the crumble mixture. So once you have all of that in there, you then need to spoon over your crumble mixture. There is no water added to the apples at the bottom, so you can add a good layer of crumble on the top. Some juice will come out of the apples as they cook, but being eating apples, not a cooking apple, they do tend to stay a little bit firmer when they are cooked. So there we go, topping on. Don't use a spoon to make your topping completely flat. You can use your fingers, just shake, but your crumble should not be completely flat on the top. And I am going to put this into the oven, gas mark 4, on a baking tray for about 25 minutes. Okay, the healthy crumble is cooked. It's slightly browning around the outside and the edges. It doesn't go really dark golden brown, but underneath you can also see that the apple along the bottom, you can see that that's cooked through as well, and that has softened, so that's ready to be served.